Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin and I garden in East Central Florida. And today I need a couple of tools, a tool, my hori, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in the pumpkins. So if I look wet, it's because I am wet. I've been working on my irrigation and getting ready to put these Bulldog pumpkins in. They are officially at, what is today? I think today they're at day 16 or 17, something, depending on whatever day I'm on. But they look really good. They're putting on their secondary leaves and everything. And like I said, I'm about to head out on vacation. And so I wanted to have the water working really well. And I wanted to have these in the ground and off the table. So, sorry, that knife. Let's get rid of that. So, so my house guests, son and daughter-in-law, and maybe the other son, I don't know. So whoever comes won't have to worry about anything on the grow table. Okay. So, anyhow, this is the first step right now, and probably in the next segment we'll be putting these out in the house garden. But I have a little visitor coming in about 15-20 minutes. Granddaughter number 2 will be here. And so anyhow, the first part we're going to get done this morning is going to be the Bulldog pumpkins. I'm very excited. Okay, I started these April 10th. You can start them much sooner. It's just that I forgot about them. But for sure, April is the target date. You know, sometime when it turns April. You start them then. You don't really want to start February because then your pumpkins will come off like in August, and you don't want that. You can do that. I just heard of somebody who had their pumpkins coming off right now because they did it overwintering where they're a little bit south of me. So anyhow, it's all possible. But if you want to time it for October pumpkins, you should start in April and then they'll be completely done in October. So a couple other things we're doing right here is I'm going to amend the soil, even though it's been amended. Once these vines start growing, I will not be able to get in there at all. And so I want to make sure there's plenty of amendments on down, and then from there they can just trail away wherever they want. So this is all my roselle over here. And they'll probably get to be about 2 to 3 feet wide, sometimes a little bit longer. Which really won't matter if I put the pumpkins in this row right here, because they're going to already be off and running and trailing. But I do, so I'm going to put them on this side, not on the inside, like this side of the cattle. I'm not going to put them on this inside part of the drip line. So I want to give myself an extra like foot. So I'm going to come down here and trench. So I put the 10-10-10 down. And then I'm going to cover it up real quick. Okay, and now I'm going to turn off the irrigation because I don't want to be smacked in the face with water, which I'm already covered in water. But it's been real fun actually seeing the irrigation and seeing where I needed to. I've actually just been taking a straight pin and putting extra little holes in here. See where some gaps where that stuff wasn't getting wet, especially since I hadn't worked on this side too much since just laying the lines down. There was a lot of dry spots and the baby plants weren't getting watered as a result of just a little single drip. So I took a straight pin and I went down like sometimes 3 inches, sometimes 4, 5, 6 inches. And so everything, as you can see, I hope you can see, everything right there is getting a lot of water. And while I turn off the irrigation, let me show you over here. Let me walk you this way. We're starting to see the bulbs come up. You see it? Yeah, the bulbs are coming up everywhere. It's great. That was fast. Really. Hold on, I'm going to pull that up over the bulb. It's kind of sitting on the bulb. There we go. Yeah. Cool. Look, here's another one. I'm in the sun. I'm blocking it. I'm sorry. Cool. And there's more on the south garden too. So let's get back to planting those Georgia I say that all the time. The orange bulldogs. Y'all, it's so hard to retrain my mouth not to say Georgia bulldogs. Okay, let's see what kind of root system we got going on here. Oh, I should have watered them this morning. They're a little dry, but that looks perfect. I'm not gonna shock them by pulling them apart. So I'm just gonna pull back some soil, boom, and pop in. If I got a two, you know, they're either in singles or doubles. And I'm just gonna keep doing this and let them trail forward. Hopefully they'll trail forward. I'm gonna try to train the vines to do that. Pop them in so there is as little shock as possible. I don't think pumpkins and squash, none of the cucurbits seem to mind being planted with a friend. Oops. Now, as they grow, as they put out different segments, there should be roots along each segment for it to dig into the ground and put more roots in there. So the whole area is fertilized. When we originally did this, it had a little bit more fresher chicken manure. So, you know, not that it's super aged, but it's also not super dense in here with it. But and we also put the ash down, that's right. And now it's gonna be sitting on 666 fertilizer. That's what I bought. And I'm not gonna go too far down here because they're gonna trail, right? So I don't want anything too close to the fence so I'm fighting it constantly to not go in her yard. So, you know, I'm so blessed with a great neighbor, but I don't want to, you know, do something that would agitate her, because we all gonna be mowing like once a week or 5 days before we know it. There we go. I'm so happy to be getting this done. Yeah, these are just beautiful. Perfect timing. When they start getting those second leaves on, you know you're ready. Okay, you guys, so there we go. They're all right here, and very happy. I gave myself a lot of margin on that side, and that's a sweet potato right here that needs to come out. And then we got watermelon vines, but they seem to be trailing this way. Usually, more times than not, doesn't always happen, but more times than not, your vines will travel south towards the sun. So when I had loofah, they traveled down the cattle panel southward. When I had cucumbers, they traveled down the cattle panel southward. If you have a north-south situation like this. So I find that pretty interesting. And then I think if it's east-west, if I remember right, they go east towards the morning sun. But that might not happen to all of them. Maybe some don't get the memo, but I see it a lot just in my own anecdotal experience. So you guys, we're gonna actually leave the video end here. I'm gonna try to keep my edit short, and then I'll make a separate video for the Cossack pineapple cherries and whatever else we do. That'll be a separate video. But since I talked through this is long. Okay, you guys, with that said, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Pumpkins, yes.